slightly more successful than Timberlane. But this season, it's a turnaround situation. They're both 0-1. They both lost to the same team, Merrimack. And they're looking for a situation here where they can turn things around and prove that they can compete in this division.
Well, last night, Laconia was beat Exeter 28-12, and that certainly opens up the field for just about everybody, all 8 teams in the league now.
Yes, it does. We've got a couple of acknowledged leaders that I think just about everybody will agree with, and that's Londonderry and Merrimack. But now Laconia is certainly in there. Exeter, everyone considered to be in there. There's a little bit of a shadow of doubt in there now. And yes, it certainly leaves it open for everybody else, because you certainly could get into the playoffs this season with a 3-4 record.
Both teams here, Timberlane and Winnacunnet, going into this game at 0-1. But I would say this is an important game already, because you're only playing 7 games, and as you said, 3 and 4 will get into the playoffs.
Well, this early in the season, every game is important. There's no doubt about that. Now, some teams in the league have played more games than others, and where both of these teams have only really got 1 league game in, this is very important for both teams, no doubt about that.
Winnacunnet has had a tough time offensively over the past 3 years, and they are trying to do something about it this year. Coach Laporto has put in the wishbone last week against Merrimack. It didn't work out so well. They lost 28-0, so people are probably saying, oh boy. But I think on the wishbone, there's a high risk there, a chance for fumbles, and I think it's going to take a few more games before it really gets rolling.
Too early in the season to tell. You got 1 game under the belt that you really can use as a barometer. 1 game doesn't really tell you anything. You get 3 or 4 games into the season, that will be the proof in the pudding.
All right, coming up, we'll have the talk with the coaches. Keep it right here in Con.
It's you and Continental, for you variety. It's you having choices in the shows you want to see. It's you at the movies, for you the latest news. It's you getting all the best in everything we do. A quality show.
Dean Trefethen back here at Alumni Field at Winnacunnet High School. I have with me the visiting coach, Dick DeVarney. Dick, you've had a couple of disappointing losses to start off the season. This a turnaround situation for you people?
Well, we played some real tough teams so far. Merrimack was a real strong team. They won our division last year, and they're real strong again this year. And then last week we played Pentucket out of Massachusetts, and they're favored to win their league again this year too. So, you know, we've had 2 tough ball games, and you know, each game we're trying to improve, and hopefully things will go along pretty well today.
With Exeter's loss this weekend, it certainly keeps the playoff hopes wide open for everybody, don't you think?
Well, I still think there's some stronger teams. You know, Laconia is real strong. They had a tough game early in the year with Milford, and you know, and Milford's another team that should be fighting for the top. But you know, I guess now it's probably opened up to about 5 teams.
What kind of output do you have to get from your offense today?
I think we have to cut down on mistakes. The 2 ball games we've played in, we've made a lot of mistakes from a standpoint of fumbling the ball or throwing an interception. We've just got to control the ball a little bit if we can.
How about defensively?
Well, we're going to have to stop a run game. They're just going to send a lot of people at us, and we're just going to have to try to do a good job.
Your team experienced with defending against the wishbone?
No, we haven't played one all year, so it'll be a new experience for everybody.
I'm sure you spent the week preparing for it, though.
We certainly have.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach, and good luck in today's game.
Thank you very much.
We'll check out the home team coach's interview next.
Glenn Wild back at Alumni Field in Hampton, and we have the head coach of the Winnacunnet Warriors, Ken Laporto. Ken, you opened up against a tough team in Merrimack last week. They still the team to beat, the Division II champs?
Well, I guess they're one of the teams to beat. We didn't play very well in that game, not to take anything away from them, but in order for us to be successful this year, we've got to cut down on our mental errors and, you know, not fumble the ball and just do a lot better job with our execution.
Offense has been a problem in the past few years, and you're trying everything to get some offense on the board at Winnacunnet. This year you've decided to go with the wishbone.
Right. We just felt that we wanted to get more people involved in our offense, and with the wishbone, basically all 4 backs are involved. So hopefully we're going to get that thing straightened out today and put some points on the board.
Yeah, you came up with a goose egg against Merrimack last week, but you can't panic when you go into a new offense and things still don't work out.
No, again, it was only the first ball game, and you know, we're not out of this by any means. the way it looks right now, it's going to be a dogfight right down to the last week. Teams are knocking each other off, and I think that you know, if we can put something together today and just get things going, we'll be okay.
What about this Timberlane team?
Well, they're 0-2, but they lost to a very tough Pentucket team last week, and I saw them against Merrimack the week before. So they played two very tough teams, and you know, we haven't been world beaters in the recent past, so you know, we're looking for a tough ball game from them, and hopefully we're going to put everything together and come out on top.
Last night, Laconia knocked off Exeter, so that certainly opens up the field for everybody to get in there.
Right. You know, right now there's two undefeated teams, and the rest of the league is just going to dogfight for those last two positions. So again, the top 4 teams make the playoffs, and you know, we're just going to scramble and try to get in one of those top 4 positions.
Well, Coach, I hope you get a chance to get this wishbone going and get things going this season.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Coming up, the opening kickoff of today's football game between the Winnacunnet Warriors and the Timberlane Owls on Continental Cablevision.
If you're pregnant, you better tell your folks.
We'll help, but you'll still have to be responsible for it.
Not gonna keep it, are ya?
Could I give up my own flesh and blood? Boy, is this gonna cramp your style.
Hey, what about me and all of this?
You want the best for you and the baby, and that's a good place to start. There are professional and caring people who can help you make those difficult and scary decisions so that you can do what's best for you and the baby.
Glenn Wild, Dean Featherham, back at Alumni Field in Hampton. The captains for Winnacunnet, John Valentine, Jason Driscoll. Winnacunnet has won the toss, and they have elected to receive. Timberlane will be kicking off. The starting lineups for Winnacunnet at quarterback is number 10, Andy Gould. The fullback, number 85, John Valentine. The halfback, number 35, Jason Driscoll. Also in the backfield, number 24, Rick Downer. The split end, Craig Berry, number 32. The other end is Tim Corbett, number 86. The offensive line for Winnacunnet at center, number 50, Chris Rapp. The guards, number 78, Chris Groves, and number 71, Pat O'Keefe. The tackles, number 77, David Dahl, and number 76, Sean McGuire. The starting offense for the Timberlane Owls under the coaching of Dick DeVarney. We'll give it to you in just a moment. But now from Alumni Field, the Winnacunnet High Marching Band and our national anthem. The Timberlane starting offense. At quarterback, number 24, Jay Poulin. The fullback, number 44, Jeff Sweet. The tailback, number 32, Tom Pignatello. The flanker, number 45, Eric Clarence. The split end, number 48, John Willett. The tight end, number 14, Bob Mello. Now at center is either number 70, Dave Valeria, or number 51, Justin Hogg. The right guard is number 50, Chris Shanna. The right tackle is number 60, Sean Soares, and the left tackle, number 77, Jason Riley. The left guard is number 55, Joe Willis. The Winnacunnet Warriors in their home blue, white bands, Timberlane in their all white with maroon. Going into football this weekend, including the Friday night, September 23rd loss for Exeter to Laconia, 28-12. Londonderry, Merrimack, both 2-0. Milford, 1-0. Exeter and Laconia, 1-2. Winnacunnet, Timberlane, and Bishop Girton, all 0-1. And getting ready to kick the ball off for Timberlane is Eric Schonenberger. There it is, a high one, going all the way back it into the end zone, and is let go by Rick Downer. So Winnacunnet will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
And we got a late flag on that one back there someplace. 2 flags now. We're not sure exactly what those flags are all about, but coming well after the play was called dead.
I'll be interesting to see because nothing really happened on that kickoff.
Well, whatever it was happened well behind the play. The ball was into the end zone, called dead, and then the flags started to fly about 30 seconds after that.
Looks like offsetting penalties against both teams. So in any case, Winnacunnet will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Andy Gould, number 10. Coming from the sideline into the huddle. Chris Rapp, number 50, coming up over the football.
At quarterback for Winnacunnet, number 10, Andy Gould.
Jason Driscoll, John Valentine, Rick Downer in the backfield. Winnacunnet running the wishbone. And here's Driscoll on the first call. Good running. Gets a 1st down up to the 32-yard line.
Andy Gould leading the blocking effort on that play for the Warriors. Nice run by Driscoll on that one.
So on 1st down and 10, Winnacunnet gets another 1st down. Their first of the afternoon. They have the ball at their own 32-yard line. And here come the Warriors, 1st and 10 on their own 32 this time. A fumble, and is recovered by Timberlane.
A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield there. Gould was trying to hand off to, I believe it was Driscoll, and I think they had a mix-up of signals in there, and they just, both of them stopped dead in their tracks, and I don't think they knew quite what to do yet, and then for whatever reason the ball popped out loose, and the Owls have it. Great field position.
Justin Hogg recovered the fumble. The ball is on the 34-yard line. Winnacunnet 34, 1st and 10. Jay Poulin, a quarterback, number 24. He's rolling out to the right to throw, fires, and it's intercepted by Winnacunnet.
That's Sean McGuire with the interception for the Warriors. Well, they get the ball right back real fast.
So Winnacunnet fumbles the ball to Timberlane, and on the very first pass from Jay Poulin, Winnacunnet gets it back. So they have a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, where they started the last time. Driscoll gets a good running, breaks outside. One man the beat. A foot race, and brought down at the 10-yard line. What a run by Jason Driscoll from his own 32-yard line all the way down inside the 10.
Well, that's the kind of offensive output that the wishbone is supposed to produce for you. The Warriors haven't had any luck with it early going into the season, but so far in this game, it certainly is working.
1st and 10 for the Warriors.
All the way to the Timberlane 7. And the man back, Joel Phelps, he actually wasn't the one that made the tackle. Another defender came up from behind. Driscoll again gets to the 5.
Driscoll, the ball carrier.
It's 1st and goal, 2nd down and goal now for the Winnacunnet Warriors.
Gain of about 2 on the play. 2nd and goal.
10 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Winnacunnet has not won at home since 1986 when they beat Timberlane here. They've lost 6 straight home games. 2nd down and goal. And this is Rick Downer, had a hole but was pulled down from behind on a nice tackle by Kevin Harrison.
Had Valentine and And Gould leading the blocking on that, and for whatever reason, Downer decided to cut back the other way, and that's when he got caught.
Well, he had a good hold there. That's what he was looking for, but he got pulled down from behind on a nice tackle by Harrison. Otherwise, he would have been in. Chris Rapp over the ball. He got a loss of a yard on that, so it's 3rd and goal from the 6 for the Winnacunnet Warriors. Driscoll, Getty outside, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. Jason Driscoll from 6 yards out. And Winnacunnet scores their first points of this season.
Well, Rick Downer also leading the blocking on that. The two of them went into the end zone almost together there. Of course, the one that counts is Driscoll. He's the one with the ball.
Here comes 2 minutes and 46 seconds into the first quarter. Jason Driscoll scores the touchdown set up by his own long run from his 32 down to the 8. And now C.J. Peck for the extra point. And the boot is up. It's end over end and good. Timeout on the field. 9 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and Winnacunnet has the lead over the Timberlane Owls, 7-0. Jason Driscoll, the leading scorer last year with 24 points on 4 touchdowns. And he scores the first touchdown this season for the Winnacunnet Warriors. Winnacunnet shut out last Saturday, their opener, September the 17th, 21-0 by Merrimack. Timberlane also has lost to Merrimack. They lost 28-6.
Well, that last drive, Glenn's got to certainly put a smile on the face of Winnacunnet coach Ken Laporto, particularly after being shut out last week through the whole game. Get on the scoreboard early going. And his newly instituted wishbone offense for this year finally showing some promise.
Winnacunnet last won a home game on September the 27th here at Alumni Field when they beat Timberlane 13-6. Last season, when these two teams battled down in Plastow, Winnacunnet won 18-7. End over end down to the 15. Jay Poland. He's up to the 30. Gets a good block, gets up to the 35, tries to turn the corner, and is brought down at the corner.
Craig Berry with the key block on that one, number 32 for the Owls, given a good block right around on the 30-yard line, and he's able to scoot around another 8 or so yards.
First and 10 for the Timberlane Owls at their own 40.
You must be Tom Pignatello, number 32 for Timberlane. Craig Berry is number 32 for Winnacunnet, and Berry is the one that made the stop.
Looking at the wrong roster here.
Well, we'll forgive you this time. Timberlane first and 10 on their own 40. Jay Poulin calling the plays. And the pitch goes back to Pignatello. And he gets 3 yards before he's stacked up. Chris Groves is in there. And Kevin Shaw at the bottom of the pile, number 88. Kevin Shaw, David Dahl, some key members are there. Chris Groves. Tim McPherson also in the front line, along with Chuck Eaton and Chris Rapp. Winnacunnet playing 4-4 defense. We'll give you the linebackers and the secondary in just a moment. 2nd down and 8. Poulin throws. He's got his man complete at the 45 up to the 47-yard line, and that's all it goes.
Eric Cairns. Cairns off to the left side at about the 45-yard line. Kind of looked like he bobbled the ball a little bit there, but I don't know if he really was bobbling it or whether he was just sort of trying to fake out the defender by moving the ball around.
It'll be a 3rd down and 3. The ball at the 47-yard line. Coming out to the right side is Kearns, number 45. Led in the backfield. Jay Poulin calling the signals. Poulin rolls out to the right, looking downfield, firing, and did he get it or did he not get it? No, the official says he did not get it. It bounced off the ground. So it's an incomplete pass. And we'll set up a 4th down and 3.
4th down for the Owls.
So the Winnacunnet Warriors will get the football back.
Now the Owls are playing hurry-up offense on that one, and the Warriors were in the process of changing over to their special team. And For whatever reason, the officials halted the play. Somebody must have called the timeout, but I'm not sure who yet.
Well, we have timeout with 7:27 to go in the first quarter. Winnacunnet with the lead, 7-0. On a 68-yard drive, finished off on a 7-yard run by Jason Driscoll, and C.J. Peck converted for the extra point, 7-0, and a touchdown set up by a long run by Jason Driscoll himself. And Winnacunnet, even on their first possession team, they were finding some good holes, and then they had the mix-up in the backfield. Gave the ball to Timberlane. Timberlane gave it right back to Winnacunnet, and Winnacunnet took the ball and took it down and scored.
Well, if the early goings here are any indication, it looks as though we may have a running game by the Warriors and a passing game by the Owls. We'll see if that first impression holds up.
Well, with the wishbone, we will see an awful lot of running for Winnacunnet. Eric Schonenberger, the punt. Downer and Kevin Keenan. That was almost blocked. It's a high punt. And Kevin Kenyon takes it out of bounds at about the 21-yard line.
Close to the 22-yard line. Winnacunnet takes over, 1st and 10.
They have an almost perfect day for football here today down at Alumni Field. There's a slight breeze. Nothing really major to worry about today. The sun is shining. It's gorgeous weather. Nice warm temperatures.
Winnacunnet takes over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Andy Gould, number 10 at quarterback. With Valentine, Downer, and Driscoll. This is Downer. Gets a good block there. Gets away from another tackler. Tries to cut back upfield, going with the grain. He's got a lot of blockers there. He's got a 1st down to the 41-yard line.
Jason Longville and also Joe Phelps and on the tackle for the Owls. But wow, what some fancy footwork there by Downer on that run. He's had some good blocking early going, and then he was on his own doing a cutback a couple of times there. Picked up an extra 8 or so yards on those cutbacks.
20 yards on that carry. 1st and 10 to the 41-yard line of Winnacunnet. The Warriors with the football. Gould puts it in play, and it goes to the right side. Jason Driscoll gets the call and found the going tough this time as they tried to go over the right tackle. Soares in on the stop.
And also John Willett with the initial trip up.
Gain of about the length of the football. It will be a 2nd down and a long 9. The ball at the 41.5. Down to 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-0. Winnacunnet with the lead. Craig Berry goes out to the right. Valentine, Downer, and Driscoll in the backfield. Driscoll gets the call. He goes over the guard. A flag is tossed down. Driscoll brought down at the 45. Let's see what that flag is going to be. Came from the Timberlane side.
A lot of Owls in on that play, 3 or 4.
And a face mask against the Timberlane Owls. And the referee talking with co-captain Jason Driscoll.
He'll take the penalty, I'm sure. I don't know how much of a discussion there should be on it. That'll give him a 1st down, too. Big one.
Yeah, 15 big yards. Brings it all the way down to the Timberlane 40-yard line.
A big break for the Warriors. Excuse me. Big break for the Warriors.
1st and 10 for the Warriors at the Timberlane 40.
That is the 2nd penalty on Timberlane. Of course, the first penalties were offsetting penalties against Winnacunnet and Timberlane. So it's 1st and 10 for Winnacunnet. They have 4 first downs. The ball is on the Timberlane 40. And it goes to Driscoll, a big hole on the left side, and he gallops inside the 30 to the 27. Brought down by Chris Gardner.
Gardner with the ankle tackle there at about the 30-yard line, and Driscoll dropping down at about the 27. 28, somewhere in there.
We'll call it the 28. It's a 1st down, number 5 for Winnacunnet. And another impressive drive here for the Warriors. Craig Berry, number 32, out to the left. Driscoll, Downer, and Valentine in the backfield. Gould gives it off to Driscoll. A big hole on the right side. He gets down close to the 20-yard line. A couple of yards short of another first down.
Bob Mello with the tackle for the Owls. Boy, the offensive line for the Warriors are doing a job on this drive. They're opening up some really big holes, both on the right and the left side.
Right, there was a nice hole there. Second down and 3. The ball just outside the Timberlane 20-yard line as Chris Rapp, number 50, comes up over the football. And here come the rest of the Warriors. Andy Gould, quarterback. And Downer gets it. He goes over the middle. He gets a yard before Jason Riley gets him. And it's going to be close to a first down. The officials call time. They're going to check this out. Bring the chains in. 4 minutes and 54 seconds left to go in the first quarter. We're at Alumni Field in Hampton, the home of the Winnacunnet Warriors. They have the lead 7-0. And that's going to be short.
Not much, though. About 6 inches, not even 6 inches, probably.
Yeah, about 6 inches, according to the official. So it's a third down and inches for the Winnacunnet Warriors. Let's see what Andy Gould does. Maybe keep it himself. Maybe give it to his fullback, Big John Valentine. And Gould keeps it himself, but he got a first down, and he almost went all the way.
Yeah, there was only one defender in the way there for the Owls, and dropping them down, but boy, nice quarterback keeper.
To the 15-yard line, another first down for Winnacunnet. They now have 6. And they're knocking on the door again. Craig Berry, number 32, out to the left. Driscoll, Downer, and Valentine in the backfield. And Driscoll gets it over the right side, and he gets to the 10 before he's backed up.
Jason Driscoll. Stopped on the play by number 82, Kevin Cobb.
And Winnacunnet thus far looking pretty good with their running.
Good solid offense. Haven't seen too much of their defense. They've offense has pretty well dominated the game.
Second down and 5 from the 10 of Timberlane.
Driscoll's out wide. Not Driscoll, Berry.
Driscoll gets the call again. And he gets down to the 6-yard line. He'll be short of a first down by a yard. It'll be a 3rd and 1.
Warriors in good position on this one. They've got a chance to get another first down, and then they'll have 4 full downs to go another 5 yards.
So, yeah.
That's a real nice position to be in because they got to convert this 3rd down.
Berry comes out to the left. Valentine is up in the middle. Driscoll gets the call, cuts back inside, and dives for the touchdown.
Well, they did a lot better than convert to the first down. Why bother? Let's go for the kill.
So with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first quarter, Winnacunnet now leads 13-0.
Now, not only do we have a little bit of joy on the sidelines of the Warriors, but people in the stands here are rooting for the Winnacunnet Warriors are smiling too, and it's been a long time for a home game. They've had a lot to smile about.
C.J. Peck puts it up, and it's good. Timeout on the field. The team's come back upfield, and Winnacunnet now has a 14-0 lead. Jason Driscoll with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon and the 2nd touchdown of the year.
Well, I asked Coach Dick DeVarney of the Timberlane Owls in the pregame show whether his team had any experience with the wishbone, and he said no, they hadn't. He said they've been, of course, concentrating on it this past week in practice. Practice, though, is, of course, not the same as real game conditions. The defense for the Owls find it a little tough defending against that wishbone.
Well, I think no matter what kind of offense Coach Ken Laporto was going to run this year, whether he stayed with what he was doing, if he was going to run, his man was going to be Jason Driscoll, because he was impressive during the end of last year, though
Kicking off for
Offensively, the Warriors haven't scored many points. I'll give you some stats in just a minute on Warriors scoring. A boot, and right off the bat, flags go down, probably Winnacunnet offside. In the past 3 years, the last 17 games, and I go back that far because that's how long now I've been covering Division II football, Winnacunnet has scored just 125 points offensively. Offside against Winnacunnet, so they'll kick off from the 35. And Timberlane just having their problems too offensively. They have scored just 135 points. That's in the last 17 games. Timberlane has lost 13 in a row, 16 of their last 17. Winnacunnet on a 4-game losing streak, which they hope to snap. And they haven't won at home in their last 6 games. C.J. Peck to kick off from his 35 this time. Line drive. And it's taken by Kearns. He gives it back to Jay Poulin. Poulin up to the 40, 42-yard line. And then he is plowed under there by a bunch of Winnacunnet Warriors led by Tim Corbett. Kevin Shaw also there. And Scott McDormand.
Tim Corbett in on the tackle for Winnacunnet.
So Timberlane goes to work first and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Winnacunnet leading 14-0. 3 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Jay Poulin, number 24, is the quarterback for Timberlane. Willett is out to the right side. Going in motion. And we have flags. In motion was Tom Pignatello.
And it looks like it's going to go against the Owls.
Illegal procedure against Timberlane.
Against the Owls.
So it'll be a 1st and 5. That is the
5-yard penalty.
third, 20 yards.
Timberlane Owls.
First down and 15. And here comes Timberlane. Going out to the left is Willett, number 48. Coming to the right is Kearns. Poulin back to pass. Looking. Now he's got to keep it and run up the middle.
Big hole.
Gets a first down right there at the 50, 45. Knocked out of bounds.
Rick Downer almost had him at midfield, and he was Poulin is able to stay on his feet and keep going.
That is the first down of the afternoon for Timberlane.
Poulin had an awful lot of protection on that play. He stood in the pocket for quite a while looking for a receiver that was free. Didn't see any and decided, well, gee, there's nobody in front of me. I think I'll take advantage of this situation.
And he got a first down to the Winnacunnet 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for Timberlane. In motion. Pignatello. And it goes up the middle, off a few blockers, and close to another first down.
Jeff Sweet, the ball carrier.
Jeff Sweet. Some power running their team.
Well, the Owls are coming alive here. Their offense has not had much chance on the field here. They had the ball only a couple of times and weren't able to do anything with it.
9 yards on that carry for Jeff Sweet. John Willett to the right. Sweet in the backfield. Back to pass, rolling out to the left. Look out, in trouble. And he gets away, gets the first down, and then is plowed under by Winnacunnet Warriors.
Chris Rapp was chasing him all the way along the line, and I think Chris was really the guy that initially put the stop on him over there near the 28-yard line. But Rapp was on his tail all the way.
Yeah, Rapp was in the backfield, but then Poulin turned back upfield and got the first down at the Winnacunnet 28.5-yard line. Second first down for Timberlane. They start at this drive at their 41. Eric Kearns comes out to the right side. He's in the slot. Willett is split to the right. Poulin gives it off to Pignatello, and he gets maybe a yard going up the middle.
Pignatello, the ball carrier.
2 yards on that to make it 2nd down and 8. The ball is at the 26-yard line. We're down to 1:16 to go in the first quarter. Winnacunnet with the lead, 14-0. A pair of touchdowns from Jason Driscoll. Jay Poulin calls out the signals for Timberlane. Looking downfield for Willett, and the best chance was the official.
Rick Downer on the defense for the Warriors. Downer was behind the play a little bit there. The ball was overthrown considerably.
Poulin is 1 for 4 in the passing department, 1 interception.
Now the Owls are going to get their real first major offensive test right now. They've got to convert this 3rd down over here, stay in this ball game.
Kearns comes out to the right side. Sweet in the backfield with Pignatello. Poulin going back to pass, 3rd and 9 play over the middle, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Bob Mello. And that was one of those should-have-hads. He was open.
Pass just slightly ahead of him, but I kind of agree with you, Glenn. I think it's one of those should-have-beens.
Sets up a 4th and 9 from the 26 of Winnacunnet. And Timberlane going for it. Willett comes to the right. Kearns to the right in the slot. Sweet and Pignatello in the backfield. Poulin going to the air, look out. Rolls out to the right and is brought down to the backfield by Chris Rapp. Back at the 35-yard line. Winnacunnet will take over.
Well, Rapp's been on Poulin's tail all afternoon. And this time, Rapp was able to get to him before Poulin could do any damage.
So Winnacunnet takes over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Not only did they stop that drive by Timberlane, but they also picked up a little yardage on it. Officials' time now. We have 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Coming into the ball game now for Winnacunnet is number 81 rather, Kevin Cotel, and Craig Berry, number 32, comes out. Interestingly enough, one of Winnacunnet's best drives against Merrimack last week was stopped by a passing play. Gould off to Downer, to the 36, spins away. Battling, gets his way to the 40-yard line. Boy, he was twisting, spinning, turning, and he was having a tough time being brought down by Timberlane.
Stopped on the play by Chris Garner and Bob Mello.
Bob Mello among the tacklers for Timberlane, 5 yards on the carry, and he worked pretty hard for those yards.
Yes, he did. A lot of spinning there, some good leg work, and he's breaking a lot of tackles.
And that is the end of the first quarter. So we've gone through 12 minutes of football here at Alumni Field in Hampton. The score, the Winnacunnet Warriors 14 and the Timberlane Owls nothing. Stay tuned for second quarter action on Continental Cablevision.
When you've been servicing cable customers as long as we have, you get a handle on things, like providing fast, effective service free of charge, so customers enjoy uninterrupted pleasure from their cable system. There isn't any situation our technicians can't handle. We train our staff continually in those time-tested problem-solving techniques at our Portsmouth Training Center. Continental Cablevision Service, packing customer satisfaction into every call we make.
Continental, our quality show.
Second down at 5 as Winnacunnet starts the second quarter, and they don't like the way things are lining up, so Jason Driscoll calls timeout. And Coach Ken Laporto is coming out to talk with his team.
And I think he primarily wants to talk to the officials. The official indicating with his hands like, hey, what do you want me to do? I'm sure Ken Laporto had some type of complaint.
So it'll be a second down at 5 when we start things in the second quarter. First quarter touchdowns by Jason Driscoll. A 68-yard drive and a 79-yard drive. Driscoll from 7 yards out and from 6 yards out. And C.J. Peck converted.
Now the Owls have got to get their defense together here. Their offense was somewhat successful there in the last drive, and they've got to get their defense to be able to do some containment here, or they're going to be out of this ball game real quick.
Jason Driscoll gets the call. He's got a first down up to the 48-yard line. Winnacunnet, 7 first downs on that first quarter. They tack on another one for 8. And the ball at the 48-yard line of Winnacunnet.
At the 47-yard line. At the Winnacunnet first down.
First down and 10. For the Winnacunnet Warriors. Craig Berry comes out to the right. Tim Corbett is the tight end on the left. And here we go. Gould with a pass to Downer in his hands, and it couldn't quite hang on to it. Incomplete.
Intended for Downer is incomplete.
Gould was getting his feet stepped on in the backfield there. He's having a little problem getting free from the line, and I don't know if that broke his concentration.
That's the first pass attempt of the afternoon for Andy Gould. And we won't see too many of those with Winnacunnet running the wishbone.
The few passes you do see will probably be to those coming out of the backfield.
It goes off to Downer up the middle, and he gets across the 45-yard line to the 46-yard line, a gain of 2 on the play.
Jason Riley with a stop for the Owls. Riley has been consistently in on the defense here for the Owls.
Third and about 8 for the Warriors.
Oh, at a third down and 8 for Winnacunnet at their own 46-yard line. Andy Gould calls signals. Passing again out on the flat. It goes to Downer. He's got it, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Stopped by Sean Soares. So it will be a 4th down.
Well, there's no gain on that pass, but at least it's a completion, and that
4th down for the Warriors.
Gain your improvements in your offense notch by notch.
Hunting for Winnacunnet, number 40, Scott McDormand.
Scott McDormand is to hunt, and Poulin is deep, but it's a high one, a fair catch call for, and Poulin lets it go. And Winnacunnet surrounds it at the 20. So Timberlane will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Winnacunnet with the lead, 14-0. Timberlane starting this drive from their 20. Their last possession, they started to drive from their own 41 and started moving the ball pretty well. And they ran into some trouble deeper in Winnacunnet territory. The Warriors stopped the play on their own 35-yard line. And now Timberlane, 1st and 10 at their own 20. Jay Poulin, a quarterback, off to Pignatello. He's over the right side for 3.
Pignatello, the ball carrier.
Chuck Eaton among the tacklers on top.
Chuck Eaton in on the tackle for the Warriors.
Down the bottom was Chris Rapp.
Gain of about 4 for the Owls. 2nd and 6.
Winnacunnet's defense, Tim McPherson and David Dahl, the tackles, Chuck Eaton and Chris Rapp, the ends. 2nd down and 7. In motion, Pignatello. And it goes off to Jeff Sweet, and he gets maybe a yard, if anything.
Jeff Sweet, the ball carrier for the Owls.
You should note that Rick Downer,
Sweet carries to the 25-yard line.
who got that completed pass there, last offensive play for the Warriors, came off to the sideline. Something wrong with his hand. He's been being attended to on the sideline. They're all done with him at this point in time, but
yeah, he's back out on defense now.
Something with his hand or fingers.
Sweet falls down, his knees hit the ground, that's it. He's down. Well, he went back, was looking to set, and apparently caught his cleats in the grass and went down to his knees. As soon as your knee hits, that's the end of the play right there. So it'll be a 4th down and 12, and a quick punt. Winnacunnet got to get a good field position, and they're going to let it roll. Downer thought about it. Also, Keith Kenyon thought about it, but then they laid off. They're going to get the ball 1st and 10 at midfield.
Yeah, good field position again for the Warriors. And once again, the Owls have got to rally the defense and try to put a stop to the Warriors.
1st and 10. The ball on the Winnacunnet side of the 50-yard line. Andy Gould back to Driscoll, following the blocking of John Valentine. The flag is tossed into the pile, and Driscoll is brought down in Timberlane territory at the 43-yard line.
It's like number 60, Eric Schonenberger, down for the Owls.
Sean Soares. Number 60. Schonenberger is 66. And let's see what the flag is.
Now, undoubtedly, it's going to be against the Warriors.
That's the official talking with Fignatello.
The clipping or holding.
Down and a long 20 for Winnacunnet from their 47. Gould to pass. Firing. And tipped away at the last moment on a nice play by Bob Mello. The pass intended for Craig Berry.
Berry was very well covered on that one, and Mello was in front of the play. There was another Owl behind the play.
Oh, if he didn't deflect it, Berry might have had that one. It'll be a 4th down and 20. And back to punt is Scott McDormand. And 2 men back for Timberlane, Jay Poulin and Eric Kearns. And it's a line drive, sending Kearns back to his 5-yard line. A flag is down. Another flag is down. Oh, we have 2 flags down, and I think for 2 different penalties. We have a flag back at the 10-yard line and a flag further upfield at the 25.
I think both of them are going to go against the Warriors. We'll see. At this point in time, the officials are just conferring among themselves. Nope.
They have a clip against Timberlane.
Yeah. Now we'll see what we got going on here.
The officials discussing it with co-captain John Valentine. 2:15 left to go in the first half, 14-0. Winnacunnet with the lead. We have a clip.
That's it, 1 penalty.
And that's going to be it.
Those flags are so far apart, would have led you to believe there were 2 different penalties.
So they are
deep in their own hole.
Really. They were inside the 20, so it's half the distance. Oh no, they were outside, so it brings it back to the 5-yard line. 4th penalty for Timberlane.
1st and 10 for the Owls.
Winnacunnet has had a ton of holding penalties. Timberlane with the clips. 1st and 10 from the 5. And they're going very tough for Poulin, trying to get some space to work with.
Well, that play will take us down into the less than 2 minutes to play in this half. And the Owls not really getting anything on that, not getting anything on that one.
Poulin trying to get some more room to work with as he's backed up to his 5-yard line, and Winnacunnet said no way up the middle. Eric Kearns comes out to the right. Fignatello in the backfield with Jeff Sweet. And Jay Poulin has a problem. He runs into Eaton, and also Tim Corbett.
Well, the Warriors defense is up for this right now. You can't see him on camera, but just a little bit beyond the camera range up on the hill there is you have the coaches from Laconia scouting this game. Laconia, of course, playing. That's not them, but they're a little over to the right. Anyway, they played last evening prior to this game, so they got a nice opportunity to scout out the Warriors.
Yes, the Laconia will be here next Saturday, and we'll have that game for you. Up the middle again it goes for Timberlane. Maybe a yard, and that's about it. Jeff Sweet, the carrier. Down to 35 seconds to go. And Winnacunnet.
There they are. There's the coaches from Laconia.
Laconia knocking off the Exeter Bluehawks Friday night, 28-12. Schonenberger. Another short punt, but takes a good roll. Downer has it at the 36, coming along the 35, cuts the corner, gets back to the 24-yard line before he's finally knocked down.
There's a nice return from Downer, and Downer doing a lot of lateral running there, and then cutting upfield. Get some good yardage on that one.
I tell you, Coach Ken Laporta would like to put another 6 points on the board before this last 13 seconds is out. Oh, will he just run it out? First and 10 from the 25. No, he's going for 6. And it is almost intercepted, almost. It bounced off the pads of Bob Mello, and then it was almost picked off by another owl, but it's incomplete.
Mello's had a couple of shoulda beens on defense there. That was more definite of the shoulda beens. He should have had that one. That was in his hand.
3 seconds left. Second down and 10 at the Timberlane 25.
Well, I'm sure the Warriors will go up in the air again.
3 for 8 in the passing department for Gould. Berry is out to the right. Downer in the slot. Gould back to pass. Look out. Gets away from one. Looking downfield into the end zone. And this time it is intercepted. They better bring him down.
Here goes Mello.
This is Bob Mello, and jumping him from behind is Frisk Rose, and that is going to do it. So that is the end of the first half. It ends on an interception. And they had to bring that man down. Chris Rose did it. And that is the end of the first half. Jason Driscoll scores from 7 yards out at 2:46 and from 6 yards out at 8:40 of the first quarter. No scoring to the second quarter. The score at the half, the Winnacunnet Warriors 14 and the Timberlane Owls nothing. Stick around. We still have another half of football to go.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land, and sea. Today, the United States Marine Corps celebrates the birth date of its proud and distinguished history. History that will be remembered for that elite corps of men who made it, the Marines. We're looking for a few good men.
We're at halftime of today's high school Division II football game between the Winnacunnet Warriors and the Timberlane Owls of Plastow, New Hampshire. And we're catching the end of the Winnacunnet High Marching Band and their performance. A nice performance on their part. Also a nice performance we saw of the Timberlane Regional Band. Job well done. 14-0 the score at halftime. Winnacunnet on top. 2 first-quarter touchdowns by Jason Driscoll. 1 a 7-yard run, completing a 68-yard drive at 2:46 of the first quarter. C.J. Peck hit the extra point, and that a 79-yard drive finished off by Jason Driscoll on a 6-yard run. C.J. Peck again converted. That came at 8:40 of the first quarter. 14-0, no scoring in the second quarter. Winnacunnet had 10 first downs. In the passing department, they were 3 for 10. Andy Gould 3 for 10 for 22 yards, 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles. Penalties, Winnacunnet had 3 for 25 yards, and a lot of holding penalties in there that Coach Ken Laporta would like to cut out. And I'm sure he's talked to his linemen at halftime. Keep your hands to yourself, keep them up, and keep your hands off the defenders.
Particularly towards the end of the first half there, it's just, as far as the punt, it's really getting out of hand, the holding.
Timberlane had 2 first downs, and they were 1 for 6 in the passing department. Quarterback Jay Poulin. They had 1 turnover and interception, and they had 3 penalties for 25 yards. And we want to thank the fellas over at 1540 WMYF, Ron Reed and Gary Tangway, carrying the game. And they went out and got themselves a statistician, so they were nice enough to send us these stats, and we thank them very much. We want to remind you that we hope you'll get out and see these high school football games. Next week, Winnacunnet will be home against Laconia, and that will be the first day of October. And we invite you to come on back to Alumni Field and enjoy that game between Laconia and Winnacunnet. And if you cannot make it to the game, we invite you to tune in to AM 1540 WMYF for that game with Gary Tangway and Ron L. Reed. And then we hope that you'll enjoy the playbacks. Folks in the Exeter and surrounding areas seeing it on Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Folks seeing the Winnacunnet games in Hampton will be seeing them on Friday night. And we hope you enjoy watching the games over again. We have a lot of fun bringing these games to you.
You mentioned next weekend, Laconia Sachem's coming into town, and the coaches for Laconia are here today scouting out the Warriors, and certainly getting an eyeful today with the offensive output that the Warriors have been able to put together today. Pretty impressive first half of the Warriors.
All right, Laconia beat Exeter Friday night, September the 23rd, 28-12. Now the game going on this week 3, Saturday, September 24, Merrimack playing at Milford. Bishop Girton and Londonderry have the Division II week off. C.J. Beck ready to kick off for Winnacunnet, and he drives a drive to Poulin at his 12. Right up the middle, cuts to the right side, bounces off some tacklers, and gets to the 33-yard line before he's driven out of bounds.
Never thought I'd have such fun working 9 to 5. With the skills that I've got, I don't take no dive. Now I've got greed in my jeans. My training, it was free. Yeah, I've got greed in my jeans. Two jobs, friends, a car. So make that call at 3-4 on the Mentor Job Training Council.
Meet Ned and his VCR. They're both very unhappy. You see, Ned used to rent movies from the video store, but soon grew tired of the inconvenience. Running back and forth, never getting the titles he really wanted, and those late charges would really add up. And as for regular TV, Ned found his choices a bit limited. So one day, Ned brought home Continental Cablevision along with his favorite premium channels. Now, Ned could record great movies at home without the inconvenience of the video store. He also got live concerts, specials, 24-hour news, and sports channels. And when Ned couldn't be home to watch something, he just recorded it and watched it later. He also saved lots of money on buying and renting tapes and built a permanent library of his favorites, which only goes to show that Continental Cablevision and your VCR are made for each other.
So Timberlane goes to work, 1st and 10. Now let's see where they say he went out of bounds.
Owls coach Dick DeVarney, of course, has to light a fire underneath his offense. Try to get some points on the scoreboard here in the second half. And they've got to do it early, or the momentum and the emotion will be gone. So let's see what they do in their first drive of the second half.
Eric Clearinens comes out to the left side. And a keeper for Poulin up the middle. He gets 4.
Something's going on there. It's kept have been a little flea flicker or something there.
Really?
Jeff Sweet, the ball carrier.
Jeff Sweet got the handoff. It looked like
Gain of about 6 on the play.
it was a quarterback keep.
Second and 4.
That was a pretty smooth play. It had everybody.
Yeah.
Got 7 yards on it, 6 yards, make it a second down and 4. The ball is at the Timberlane 39-yard line. John Willett is split to the left side. Poulin back to pass, firing. He's got Willett, and no, he doesn't. He had it and then was popped by Keith Levitt on a nice hit. Knocked the ball loose.
Popped right off his chest. And we talked quite a bit today already about should-have-beens, and there was another one.
Well, that one, yeah, but he got hit hard by Keith Levitt on that one. Good job on Keith Levitt's part from his defensive corner position. 3rd down and 4 at the 39 of Timberlane. The pitch back to Pignatello, and he looks like he has himself the first down to the 45.
Pignatello, the ball carrier.
And for Timberlane, their third first down of the afternoon. 14-0, Winnacunnet with the lead.
Chuck Eaton in on the stop of the Warriors.
That's the Timberlane first down.
1st and 10 for Timberlane at their own 45-yard line. Eric Clearnans comes out to the left side. And it goes to Sweet. Up the middle for 3 yards. Among the tacklers, Tim McPherson.
Also Dave Dahl.
The Winnacunnet defense, Tim McPherson, David Dahl, the tackles, Chuck Eaton, Chris Rapp, the ends. The linebackers, John Valentine, Chris Groves, Kevin Shaw, Scott Dorman. Cornerbacks, Keith Levitt, Rick Downer. The safety is Craig Berry. 2nd down and 6. The ball at the 43.
Fumble.
A fumble, and who's got it? Winnacunnet thinks they do.
Poulin never really had that ball. It was in his fingertips, and as he's trying to drop back there, the ball stayed where it was, and his fingers, of course, kept going back with the rest of them, and he never really had that ball.
Timberlane did get it back. It looks like Jeff Sweet came up with it. A loss of a couple of yards back to the 46-yard line. 3rd down and 8. Poulin back to pass. Over the middle, deflected, and it goes right to Clearnans. He's got a first down. It was deflected by a Winnacunnet defender and went right to Clearnans.
Right out the left hand of Chris Groves and right into the hands of Carnes. Carnes did a nifty little button hook there and gained a couple more yards on the play.
Another first down for Timberlane. They had one pretty good drive of the first half, but that later stalled around the 35-yard line, stopped by the Winnacunnet Warriors on a 4th down and short yardage. Right now, 1st and 10 at the 41 in Winnacunnet territory. And it goes over the right side.
Another Poulin keeper.
I don't think Poulin's got tossed back to his 45, but I think they're going to mark his forward progress more toward the original line of scrimmage.
He's going to have a gain of a couple on that, I think.
Right, they do give him a couple inside the 40 to the 39. 2nd down and 8. We're in the 3rd quarter, 9 minutes straight up to go. In the 3rd quarter, 14-0, Winnacunnet on the top. Eric Clearns comes out to the left. Pignatello is to the right. Sweet at the backfield. Poulin a quick one over the middle. He's got his man, Bob Mello. And Mello down close to another first down at the Winnacunnet 30-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. That's going to be close.
Carries to the 31-yard line.
I think of Craig Berry on the stop for the Warriors, I believe.
The officials are going to call time. Timberlane coming up to the line of scrimmage, but the officials have called time, and they're bringing in the chains to measure. It's going to be close. But it's a first down.
Now, that's the kind of shot in the arm that the Owls need on offense here. They
First and 10 for the Owls.
had a tendency to sputter a little bit in their drives, and last time they got down into Warriors territory, they certainly stalled out. Now they got a chance to keep this drive going.
First and 10 for the Winnacunnet 31-yard line. Jay Poulin calls the signals. Back to pass, fires, it's complete. But he's down right away at the 25.
His knee was on the ground when he caught the ball, so that's, as soon as he catches it, he's down. Little differences between pro football and high school level, and that pro football, of course, somebody's got to touch you when you're down or bring you down. And in high school football, the knee is the key.
Yeah, as soon as your knee hits the ground, that's it. Rick Downer.
And the knee is the marking point, not where the ball lands.
Rick Downer limping off the field. He needs some assistance on the sideline. It's a 3rd down and 4. Poulin, look out! Gets away.
Got a flag on the play.
And that is hit hard.
Well, Poulin doing pretty good to get away from the defenders there, but boy, he paid for it at the end there. He got nailed by 2 or 3 Winnacunnet Warriors, and we got a yellow flag on the play there too. Let's see what that one's all about.
Could possibly be holding on Timberlane.
Yeah, they're talking to the Warriors, so.
And it is holding against Timberlane. Winnacunnet had 3 of them in the first half called on them. And it stopped a number of drives, slowed them down, made a mess out of them. John Valentine talking now with the official.
And official also
Winnacunnet's going to push Timberlane back.
Official giving John Valentine the options to him. Well, this is what will happen if you take the penalty, and this will happen if you decline it, and so forth, so on. And they've opted to let the penalty stand, and it's a biggie.
That's right. It brings it back out to the 39-yard line. The down remains the same. It'll be a 2nd down and 18 yards at the 39-yard line, Winnacunnet.
Well, no sooner did the Owls pick up an important 1st down conversion to keep the momentum going on the drive, and they have this happen to them, and they're in worse shape than they were before.
Clearance and Willett out to the left side. Sweet, Pignatello in the backfield. Poulin gives it off to Pignatello. Cuts outside, cuts back inside, and that is pushed back by the Winnacunnet defense.
He'll have a gain of 2 or 3 yards on that.
Kevin Shaw helped out on the stop, among others, for the Winnacunnet Warriors.
Going to mark that ball at about the 36-yard line.
So it's a 3rd down and 15. The ball at the Winnacunnet 36. We're down to 6:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. 14-0. Winnacunnet with the lead. Timberlane moving the ball pretty well in this drive. It started on their own 33. Poulin back to pass. Looking downfield. And he's got his man, Bob Mello, complete for a 1st down inside the 10.
Well, Poulin was being chased in the backfield, and he had to do a little bit of scrambling to get himself free and then look downfield. And nice little pass down there.
26-yard play. Gets it down inside the 10-yard line to the 8 and sets up a 1st and goal. 6th 1st down for Timberlane.
Nice catch by Bob Mello, who was pretty well covered down there.
He was. 1st and goal from the 8. Timberlane knocking on the door. Back to Pignatello. And he gets to the 5.
Yeah, this is going to be obviously a key set here for the Owls here. They've got to get into the end zone here.
Chris Groves and Chris Rapp among the tacklers for Winnacunnet. Going to be a gain of 2, make it 2nd down and goal from the 6.
2nd and goal.
Willett out to the right in the slot. Pignatello. Coming out to the left is Eric Clarence. In the backfield is Jeff Sweet. Poulin calling signals. Pignatello comes in motion. Poulin back to pass. Now he's in trouble, and down he goes, bringing him down is number 77, Dave Dahl, for Winnacunnet. A big play there.
Well, there's the stopper. There's the defense of the Winnacunnet Warriors coming through to put the clamps on this drive here that the Owls have kind of sputtering along here. They've been able to keep it alive, but it's the old 3 steps forward, 2 steps back routine that the Owls are got themselves caught up in here, and this is not the way to win a ball game.
Well, it's back at the 12-yard line now. That is the second sack of the afternoon for the Winnacunnet defense.
Somebody's going to call a timeout here.
And Timberlane has called timeout. That's their first timeout of the second half. 4:42 left to go in the third quarter. One other game in Division II going on in this week 3 beside this one. And that has Merrimack and Milford, which should be an interesting game. Milford led by senior running back Rob Milinetti.
You could wait forever for your video store to get the one-of-a-kind specials that regularly show on cable. Why wait?
Concord and West are 3-0, up-to-date standings in Division I. Pinkerton 2-0. Trinity, Nashua, Portsmouth now 2-1. Salem 1-1. Central, Dover, Keene, Memorial 0-2. Spalding 0-3. Dover at Memorial today. Central at Keene, and Pinkerton at Salem. Here we go, third down and goal for the 12 for Timberlane. Poulin back to pass, fires into the end zone. His pass was a little short. His man was open, but his pass was short.
It's Bob Mello that was open, and as you say, that pass was short. If it had been about another yard or so longer, Mello would have had that ball in the end zone, and the Owls would have been on the scoreboard.
So now it's a 4th and goal. 5 for 12 in the passing department for Poulin. Bob Mello is split to the right. Out to the left is Clarence and John Willett. Sweet and Pignatello in the backfield. Look out! And nice defensive play by number 86, Tim Corbett, for the Winnacunnet Warriors. Puts an end to another drive.
You got Chuck Eaton and an Owl player, number 60, 66.
That's Schonenberg.
66, I believe. I'm not sure if it was Schonenberg or Suarez. Anyway, two of them had quite a battle to retain that ball, the fumble, and
so Winnacunnet comes up big on the defensive side. First and 10, they have the ball at their 21-yard line. Now that last set of first and 10 was actually a first and goal for the 8-yard line, and it ends out at the 21-yard line. So there's a big set of defensive work by the Winnacunnet defense. Now the offense. Driscoll, and they say his knee went down. He slipped, and his knee made contact with the ground, and that's it. Driscoll
disagrees with the call, but no amount of arguing is going to change it, so what's the point?
So he loses 5 back to the 16. It will be a second down and 15. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Still 14-0. Winnacunnet came out running from their wishbone and opened up some huge holes. Then later in the second half, they tried to mix it up with some passing. It kind of slowed things down. Now Driscoll breaking out, but a flag is down at the 20. He gets up enough for a first down, but let's wait and see what that flag is all about.
Yeah, a little bit of upsetness there in Warriors' part. Valentine is kind of hopping up and down. That doesn't look too good.
Now the official is trying to get Timberlane's attention. They're going to mark this off from where the flag went down at the 20. And it's going to be a big one. Holding, the 4th holding penalty of the afternoon.
Penalized to their 11-yard line for holding on the last play.
You know, the offensive coaches for Warriors are going to have their #1 agenda this week is going to be...
Going to tie the arms to the shoulder pads. Second down and 15. Second down and 15 for the...
Still got a little bit of discussion going on out there amongst the referees. Somebody forgot to bring the yard marker back or something here.
That's right. The marker is still at the 15. The ball is back around the 10. There we go. They marked it back at the 11. Now it's second down and 20. And now Timberlane calls timeout.
For the Warriors, and Timberlane takes timeout.
And that's their second timeout of this half. They have one left. 3:42 to go. In Division III football, Bishop Brady beat Monadnock Friday night 8-0. Franklin playing at St. Thomas today, and Kingswood at Littleton. Plymouth, Bishop Brady both 2-0 in the Division III standings. Monadnock at St. Thomas all 1-1. Franklin, Littleton 0-1, and Kingswood 0-2. Division II scores from last week, in case you didn't catch them. It was Exeter winning 40-7 over Bishop Girton. Londonderry nailing Laconia 34-14, and Merrimack shutting out the Winnacunnet Warriors 21-0. Pentucket beat Timberlane last week 42-14, and Triton over Milford 22-7. Of course, non-league games right there. All right, we're getting ready to go. Winnacunnet in a hole. Second down and 20. A holding penalty again is put a halt to a drive that was just really starting to get rolling with that last run by Driscoll, who had the first down, but it all went for naught. Coach Dick Devani talking with the referee doesn't seem particularly happy with the way things are.
Well, he hasn't had too much to smile about for sure today. Now the referee's going to go over and talk to Ken Laporto.
.342 left to go in the third quarter. 14-0.
You know, everybody's trying to get everything straight out there and know exactly what's going on, but this is not good for the teams. This is breaking up momentum and concentration and making them just start to wonder what the heck's going on and everything. And it's just not a good position to put your ball players in.
We noticed Rick Downer down on the sideline. He came off the field in the last set of defensive plays limping, but he's been doing some quick runs and seems to be ready to go again. Just waiting for the call to get back in there. And in for him in the backfield is Scott McDormand with Valentine and Driscoll. Driscoll gets the call. Big hole to the right side. And he's back. Good 15 yards to the 25. He'll still be 5 yards short of the first down, maybe more than that. And a flag goes way after the play down right now.
Bob Mello on the stop for the Owls. And we're going to see what's going to happen there with that flag.
Timberlane clapping, so it looks like it's against Winnacunnet. And that's going against the Winnacunnet Warriors.
Preliminary indication is unsportsmanlike conduct against Winnacunnet.
And unsportsmanlike conduct against the Winnacunnet Warriors, and that is not what the Warriors needed. As again, they had another good run from Jason Driscoll, and then get a costly penalty. 15 yards will bring it back inside the 15 to the 13. And it will make it a third down situation. So 2 good runs in a row for Jason Driscoll. Hard negated. And it's 3rd and 20 back at the 13. Andy Gould calling signals for Winnacunnet. And more flags and whistles. And Andy Gould clapping his hands, so it looks like Timberlane now is going to be hit for 5 yards.
Offsides against the Owls.
So that moves it up to the 18. Makes it a third down and 13 yards to go.
Well, we were moving this football game along a pretty good clip there up until recently here. This series of penalties is like the hare in the tortoise race. We're concentrating on the tortoise right now.
Really? Jason Driscoll, the call on the right side. Pulled down by the shirt tail. Making the stop, Dave Palaria. And it's going to be a 4th down and long for Winnacunnet.
Dave Polaria in on the tackle for Timberlane.
The ball is resting at the 27. And going back, Jay Poulin and Eric Clarence. Scott McDormand standing at his 15. No, he's not going to boot it. He's going to run. He's looking for that 1st down, and he's not going to make it.
Boy, is the Owls going to have good field position on this one.
Well, good defensive play.
A nice try by the Warriors there, and I don't think at first that the Owls were even thinking that was going to be a possibility. But they reacted very nicely to it and recovered well on the defense and got themselves excellent field position for their offensive team.
Dorman carries to the 27. Timberlane takes over 1st and 10.
Timberlane takes over 1st and 10 from the Winnacunnet 27-yard line. 14-0. Winnacunnet with the lead. And Jeff Sweet up the middle for 2.
Sweet, the ball carrier.
Everybody there for Winnacunnet. Chris Rapp getting up off the bottom of the pile. Tim Corbett. And there were still others for Winnacunnet.
On the tackle, along with Tim Corbett.
Chris Groves. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
2nd and 8.
Willett comes out to the right. In the slot is Pignatello. Out to the left is Eric Clarence. In the backfield alone is Sweet. Jay Poulin gives it off and throws, and it's not complete.
I think that was intended for Bob Mello. Mello hadn't even turned around to see if that ball was coming at him, and it was already past his shoulder before he started to turn his helmet around, and almost into the hands of a Winnacunnet Warrior defender. This is not the place for a little sputtering on the offensive part of the Owls. They've got to make something happen here, and they got to make it happen fast. If they don't put some points on the board now, mostly they're just going to be out of this football game.
It's a 3rd down and 8. And Clarence out to the left. Poulin, look out. He's pulled down, and it's recovered by Timberlane. And boy, Poulin almost got his arm ripped off there by
Eric Schonenberger with the recovery for the Owls.
86, Tim Corbett.
Tim Corbett came in and practically took off Jay Poulin's arm as he was throwing.
Well, the Owls are 4th and real long.
4th sack.
4th down for the Owls.
And a quick kick. Schonenberg trying to get it into the corner. And it's going to be a good one. Right at the 4-yard line. It was downed by Timberlane's number 55, Joe Willis, a Winnacunnet.
At above the 4-yard line.
In a deep hole, but there is a flag, so hold on. Back at the 26. We have 46 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The officials are talking amongst themselves right now. They haven't talked to any of the captains.
Now they're going to do some more conferring.
Right, there are 2 of them there. Now all 4 of them are conversing. The flag was dropped back at the 26-yard line.
Little situation where you'd like to have a hidden microphone. Just sort of drop it right down the middle there. And they're probably just discussing where they're going to go to supper after the game or something like that.
Well, we found out later, as usual, we're the last ones to find out that there was supposed to be a mic on the referee, but he would not allow it last week. Otherwise, everybody would have heard the calls. So the officials still deciding which way it's going to go. Now they're bringing the ball downfield. No penalty.
Yeah.
Well, so Winnacunnet is going to get a break out of this. They're going to get the ball at their own 20-yard line.
I don't know. Well,
so Winnacunnet He's going to get it 1st and 10.
The Owls tried to down that ball, and
They knocked
never
it
really
in the
caught
end
it.
zone.
I think that's what they're ruling on here, is that it shouldn't be down at the 4, but rather should have went into the end zone, and therefore the Warriors have the ball at the 20.
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors. And up the middle it goes.
Well, it sure took them a long time to figure that one out.
Really? John Valentine gets the call.
That's what it was all about. It certainly is a long time to figure that one out.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 22-yard line with 25 seconds left in the third quarter. 14-0. Winnacunnet on top, looking for their first win of this season. And falling ahead is Jason Driscoll. He gets up over the 25 to the 27.
Lead blocker on that one was Rick Downer. And Driscoll had to kind of just sort of run right over the top of Downer there to get the final yard or two there.
And that is the end of the third quarter. We've gone through 3 quarters of play at Alumni Field in Hampton. The score, the Winnacunnet Warriors 14 and the Timberlane Owls nothing. Coming up, the 4th quarter of today's football game. 3rd down and 4 as we start the 4th quarter. Winnacunnet has it. Rick Downer carrying the ball, following the blocking of Driscoll. A flag down in the backfield. So I think this carry is going to be called back.
Downer getting some key blocking there from number 85, John Valentine.
And the penalty is against Winnacunnet.
Winnacunnet was doing so well in the first half here with a wishbone offense, and they certainly have shown promises of continuing that in the second half, but penalties are just putting a stopper to everything.
Holding penalties in particular.
I was one of the Warrior coaches. I would have run down to the local drugstore and got every single piece of masking tape that they had in stock, and let's start taping up the hands.
Well, that cheer is the announcement for the Red Sox winning their game against the Yankees 2-0. Of course, by the time you've seen this broadcast, the Red Sox may have wrapped it up already, hopefully. So the penalty against Winnacunnet, 3rd down and 15, the ball back at their own 15-yard line. Gould going to the air, looking, firing. He's got his man. Complete. And up for a 1st down, but a flag is down.
That's Tim Corbett with the carry for the Warriors, but I think it's going to be called back. I think
you're right. There was some extracurricular activity after a block.
We talk about taping the hands. Of course, the hands is not the only way that you can get holding. Is you can hook an arm around somebody or something like that. That's holding as well. And these penalties are just killing the Warriors. I mean, they've got a nice lead in this game right now, but they're giving too many opportunities for the Owls to get back into it.
It is holding against Winnacunnet again. So a nice play is called back. 3rd down and 20. The ball is now back at the 10-yard line, the 11-yard line. Craig Berry comes out to the left.
3rd and 18 for the Warriors.
Andy Gould, number 10, calling the signals. And the call goes to Driscoll. Some good running, and there's no flags down.
22-yard line.
Not yet. Some of them have been really late, so you have to kind of wait off saying that sometimes.
He got 10 on that, make it 4th down and 10. And a punting situation, you would think.
Well, after all is said and done there, you're now looking at a situation here where the Warriors are going to have to punt away, and conceivably the Owls are going to end up with pretty decent field position. It's not the situation that the Warriors want to put themselves in.
There's the punt, left foot. That was booted by somebody who isn't on our roster. And it's down at the 42-yard line. So number 5 for Winnacunnet must be from the JV team, left-footed kicker. So it's a 1st down and 10 for Timberlane at their own 42-yard line. Timberlane Timberlane goes to work with 10 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, 14-0. Winnacunnet is leading. Jay Poulin, a quarterback, back to pass, gets away. He's going to keep it now. He's got two defenders on him and pulling him out of bounds on the sideline, John Valentine. After he lost about 5 yards on the play.
Poulin had some pretty decent coverage there in the early goings on that play, and obviously just couldn't find a receiver that was open, and decided that he was doing a little bit of scrambling there. I think he was still looking for a receiver. I don't think the initial intent of that play at all was for it to be a keeper, but got to a point where he was so close to the line of scrimmage that he didn't have any choice.
Well, he lost 2 on that, so it's 2nd down and 12. The ball is back at the 40-yard line. Eric Baker, number 80, is split to the right side for Timberlane, and now we have movement, and who moved first? Illegal procedure against Timberlane. So everybody on the offense seems to be moving backwards instead of frontwards.
Yeah.
Penalties piling up all over the place. 2nd down and 17. The ball is back at the 35-yard line now.
If we didn't have all these penalties, this ball game would be over by now.
To the right is Baker, Mello in the slot, Sweet and Pignatello in the backfield. Poulin to throw. And he gets it off, intended for Willett, just over his outstretched hands. Keith Levitt was the defender for Winnacunnet. Sets up a 3rd and 17 for the Owls. Winnacunnet with the lead, 14-0, looking for their first win at home since September 27th, 1986, when they beat this Timberlane team here. Winnacunnet has lost their last 4 games. Timberlane has lost their last 13. 3rd down, 17. Poulin.
Good protection.
Look out, it breaks down now. And he's run out of bounds on the near sideline.
It's just so long that the offensive line can contain the defense from swarming in on you. The key there is that his receivers aren't getting free. Now, whether they're not running the patterns as he's expecting, or whether the secondary for the backs there for the Warriors are doing their job.
Rick Downer is back deep for the kick, along with number 43, Kevin Kenyon. Schonenberger to punt it away from his 20. And he drives one away from everybody. Kenyon, though, picks it up at his 27, gets back to the 30, and is then snowed under by Timberlane defenders. He's pushed back to the 25.
Number 27, Tom Willis, senior, coming in with a heavy hit.
So his forward progress is marked at the 27-yard line. Winnacunnet goes to work from there. And they have been shown signs again of moving the ball well, but penalties have killed them here in the second half. Andy Gould back to Downer. Cuts the corner, cuts upfield, and he's close to a first down, knocked out of bounds on the near sideline by number 35, Kevin Harrison. And let's see where they mark it. There, the official saying first down. That is the first down for Winnacunnet in this half. They have 11 first downs overall.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot happened in the second half, really. The only thing that's really happened noteworthy is it's been penalty city. Other than that, it's pretty nondescript football game, second half.
Well, it's killed an offense that has shown some signs of starting to roll for Winnacunnet until that hit. What a hit on Rick Downer.
Number 6, that's Schonenberger, 66. Schonenberger with a mammoth hit.
That's the line of scrimmage by Eric Schonenberger.
What a hit on that one. A loss of a couple of yards.
Schonenberger goes out after that hit.
Good, solid, clean hit right there. Second down and 12. The ball is back at the 37-yard line. Berry out to the right side. Valentine, Driscoll, and Downer in the backfield. Downer gets the call and is pulled down. I think he lost another yard on the play.
That's number 55 on the tackle there, Joe Willis, one of the co-captains.
Also Justin Hogg helping out, defensive tackle, and they do give him another yard loss on that. Third down and 13. Ball is now at the 36-yard line.
Third and 13.
We've gone 3 plays now where we haven't had a flag. Third down and 13. Gould going back to pass. And down he goes.
82 and 70 in there for the tackles for
Kevin Taub and Dave Valeria. That is the
Owls have gotten their defense together here in the late goings of the game.
First sack of the afternoon for Timberlane is 4th down and over 20 yards to go, and Winnacunnet going to have to kick it away. And number 5 for Winnacunnet, who's not on our roster, gonna boot it away.
It's a pretty good boot, too.
Timberlane players hanging around there very dangerously. It's down by Winnacunnet at the 40-yard line. Timeout on the field, 7:41 to go in the 4th quarter. Winnacunnet with the lead, 14-0. 10 for Timberlane on their own 40-yard line. Another flag is down, pulling back to pass, and it is knocked down on a nice defensive play by Rick Downer. Pass intended for Bob Mello. And let's see what that flag is all about. Illegal procedure against Timberlane.
Indication of illegal procedure against Timberlane.
John Valentine talking with the referee.
Well, so much for decent field position for the Owls. They just took that away from themselves.
5 yards marked off against Timberlane. Will set up a first down and 15. The ball back at the 35-yard line. With 7:15 to go in the 4th quarter, 14-0. Winnacunnet with the lead. Jason Driscoll, 2 first-quarter touchdowns.
First and 15 to Timberlane.
Jay Poole in a quarterback. Back to pass. Look out, being chased, down he goes. And they're going to call that incomplete. There goes the flag. They're going to call intentional grounding against Timberlane.
Yeah, Poulin almost pulled it off, you know. I mean, if he'd get released that just a couple of seconds sooner, he would have got away with it.
But the flag went down.
It took a while for the referee to think about that one, whether he wanted to call it or not, because the flag took a while to come, but I think it's a good call on the referee's part. I don't think there's any question that was an intentional grounding.
Yeah, there was nobody around, although the official may have been checking out to see if there was anybody in the vicinity. So the official again talking with John Valentine.
Yeah, giving him his options, telling him how it's going to go either way, and let him make up his mind.
I want to remind you that our next game is going to be the Saturday, October 1st game between the Winnacunnet Warriors and the Laconia Sachems right here at Alumni Field. We hope that you'll come out and enjoy the game in person. If you can't make it, then listen to it on AM 1540 WMYF Exeter Portsmouth with Gary Tangway and Ron Reed. Then we have the playback for you Wednesday night in the Exeter area, Friday nights in the Hampton area. All right, it's second down and a long yardage. And Jeff Sweet gets back a fairly good chunk of that, but it's still going to be a long way to go. Kevin Shaw there for Winnacunnet, among others.
Rick Downer is on the tackle.
Rick Downer also there.
With Kevin Shaw.
Back up to the 27-yard line now. It's going to be a third down and about 22 yards.
They got a long way to go. And time is running out very quickly on this Owl team.
Eric Baker comes to the right in the slot. is Bob Mello. Sweet and Pigdatello in the backfield. Out to the left, John Willett. Pull into the air again. Firing. And it is picked off by Keith Levitt at the 46-yard line of Timberlane. Winnacunnet's ball.
Nice defensive play by Levitt. He had a bead in on that ball all the way. He picked it off and was able to hang on to it. Nice defense by the Warriors, and that just about kills any hopes of the Owls getting into this ball game.
Second interception of the afternoon for the Winnacunnet Warriors. Keith Levitt registers that one. And Winnacunnet has it at the Timberlane 46-yard line. 1st and 10. They'll run that old wishbone now. Keep it on the ground, kill off some time. Downer, a big hole up the middle, and he cuts to the outside. As a result, he might be short of the first down.
Picked off from behind by number 33, Chris Gardner.
Eric Baker also on the play there. It's a gain of 9. 2nd down and a yard to go. The ball is inside the 40 at the 37-yard line. Jason Longbow comes in, and leaving the contest is Jason Riley. Out to the left comes Berry. In the backfield, Valentine, Driscoll, and Downer. Fumble, and it's recovered by Timberlane. And it's recovered by Jason Longbow. So Winnacunnet gives it back to Timberlane.
A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield there on the part of the Warriors, and that ball just sort of got knocked out, and free-for-all there. The Owls come up with it.
So that is the...
time is running out on the Owls here. Their chance to do something was the last time they had the ball.
4th turnover for Winnacunnet, and now we have a whistle. As somebody has lost a shoe. John Valentine has lost a shoe. 5:17. Winnacunnet looking for their first win.
It's probably nothing more stressful. I don't know about more stressful, but it's pretty stressful to sit down in the field with everybody's eyes upon you trying to tie your shoe. You know, it's probably, I can just see those fingers saying, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, you know?
John Valentine gets his shoes back in line, and we're ready to go. 1st down and 10 at the 39-yard line for Timberlane. With Jay Poulin at quarterback. Coming in motion, Pigdatello. And back to pass is Poulin. Look out, Chris Rapp wraps him up along with Chuck Eaton. The 5th sack of the afternoon for Winnacunnet.
Chris Rapp has been a major factor on the defense for the Warriors this afternoon. He's been chasing Poulin around all afternoon, and he's been pretty successful at catching him.
Well, he got sandwiched by the defensive ends of Winnacunnet that time.
Loss of 14 on the last play.
14 yards back to the 26-yard line. 2nd down, 24. Eric Baker is split to the right side. In the slot is Pigdatello.
Goes Sweet.
And just Sweet gets the call and doesn't get too far with it. That was not Pigdatello in the slot. It was Kevin Taub. Number 82 was in the slot. He's now leaving the game, and Bob Mello coming back in.
4 minutes to go in this ball game, and the Owls are just, I suppose they can make some things happen, but they're in a tough situation.
Nothing a touchdown wouldn't help.
Well, help, yes, but solve their problems, no.
Look out. And it's complete to Eric Baker. He'll be short of a first down by 7.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to make my comment before they decide whether they're going to punt or not. I think they got to go for it. They don't have any choice. No punt in this situation. We'll see what they decide to do. But in my mind, the only decision is go for it.
I think you're right. 4th down and 5. The ball is at the 45-yard line. because they just might not see the ball again unless Winnacunnet makes some more mistakes.
And the Owls are taking their last timeout.
That's right. They're all out of timeouts now. They cannot stop the clock except by throwing it out of bounds or anything like that. So timeout on the field with 3:09 to go in the fourth quarter, 14-0. Exeter scoring in the first quarter, and they look good in the first quarter, scoring those touchdowns. And then the penalties set in.
Well, they look pretty good in the second quarter, too. Not quite as impressive as in the first quarter, but I think one of the things that happened in the second quarter was that I think the Owls got a little more into this ball game, defensively and offensively. The second half has been a disaster for both teams. I mean, it's been one mistake after another, and sputter offense, and
big penalties for Winnacunnet. That's been the other thing, and especially at the started late in the second quarter. When after they scored the touchdowns, they started mixing it up more, starting to pass along with running out of the wishbone. And in the second half, they've shown some signs of getting going again, but they've been killing themselves with holding penalties. And that's just something the linemen are going to have to work on. Even practices, you can't really work on that. You just have to think out there. In motion, Pignatello, as we have a 4th and 5 situation for Timberlane. Poulin. Fumble on the play. And Winnacunnet recovered the fumble. It would have been their ball anyway, no matter who had it. It's Winnacunnet's ball. They did recover it.
Dave Dahl with the recovery for the Warriors. As you mentioned, Glenn, they would have had the ball anyway, but...
Hey, I think Dave Dahl will take the fumble recovery.
Absolutely.
First down and 10 for Winnacunnet at the 43-yard line. I'd like to see him get this offense rolling again, put another score on the board. Gould gets it back to Downer. Getty outside. Flags flying again. And we're probably going to have a clip on Craig Berry there. The penalties were in his area.
Kevin Cobb and Tom Willison on the tackle. There are flags on the play.
And it is against Winnacunnet. It's going to stop another good run. This is the way things have been going.
Flipping against Winnacunnet.
Now, this would be a 0-0 ball game if it were not for that first quarter, or a fine offensive effort by the Warriors in the first quarter. There really hasn't been a whole lot happening.
So back it comes, way back. And Winnacunnet will have to do something about cutting down on these penalties a great deal if they're going to beat Laconia Saturday afternoon. 1:30 kickoff here at Alumni Field, the first day of October. Hope to see you all out here for that game. First down and 25. And plowing his way over the left side is John Valentine. Good carry.
Valentine, the ball carrier.
Valentine's he's a big boy.
Right, of course, like last year when Mike Cropper was brought up from his end position to play fullback, they've done the same thing with John Valentine this year.
Valentine's 6 feet tall, 197 pounds. They've got him listed here. He's a pretty good-sized kid. He can just sort of power his way through that defensive line.
He got about 13 yards on that. It's going to be second down and 12. The ball is at the 45-yard line. Driscoll around the right side. And he gets 5 to the 40.
Valentine with the lead blocking on that play, along with now mostly Valentine was the lead blocking on that play.
Clock, meanwhile, is rolling down to 1:45. Third down and 8 for Winnacunnet. The ball is on the Timberlane 40-yard line.
Winnacunnet's got to convert this into a first down, or they're going to have to hand the ball over to the Owls once again. The Owls won't have much time to do anything, but you hate to give them that chance.
Gould going to the air.
Uh-oh.
He's in trouble, but he gets the pass away, and it's intercepted. The tackle made immediately at the 20-yard line. The pass intended for Berry and it was taken in by Tom Willis. Barry made the quick tackle. So Timberlane has the ball, but they are deep in their own territory. They've got a long ways to go and very little time.
The word to the defense of the Warriors has to be conservative, hands-off defense. You don't want to do anything that gets those Owls into the... They haven't got a whole lot of time to do anything. You're up 14-0. Even if the Owls were to score one touchdown with a 1:16 left to go, you're going to still win this ball game. So the key here is you got to play defense, and you can't let them get away with too much, but you got to do it conservatively and not give anything to them.
Another thing you've got to keep in mind, this could be a long minute and 12 seconds because Timberlane has no timeouts left, and they're going to have to be going to the air to stop that clock and to also get some quick ground.
Yep. Well, that's going to hurt.
They
him
don't
right
that
there.
time.
Poulin had trouble with the ball, keeping his hands on it. Now the time is just going to go. They got to go hurry up offense and get that ball into the air fast here, and they don't know how to handle that kind of a situation. They'll be lucky if they get this play off, but.
Second down and 11. The ball is back at the 20. And Winnacunnet a few seconds away from their first win of 1988. They were shut out by Merrimack in their opener 21-0, and they're on the verge of shutting out.
On the verge of having their 30 seconds called on.
New quarterback in there. And that play is going nowhere. Scott Arzilli, quarterback.
Ball game. 15 seconds ago and no timeouts, and that's that.
And Arzilli is limping around there. Down to 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And the Winnacunnet Warriors have finally won a football game at home. The last time they won here at Alumni Field was on September 27th against this Timberlane team when they won 13-6. Today, they come up with a 14-0 win over Timberlane. They snap a 4-game losing streak, which goes into part of last season. And Winnacunnet showed some signs of looking pretty good, but they got to cut down on the penalties. We'll wrap it up for you in just a moment. The final score, the Winnacunnet Warriors 14, the Timberlane Owls nothing. Glenn Wild, Dean Feathern back at Alumni Field in Hampton, where the Winnacunnet Warriors have defeated the Timberlane Owls. The final score 14-0. All the scoring in the first quarter. Jason Driscoll from 7 yards out, the extra point good by C.J. Peck. 7-0. That was at 2:46 of the first quarter. And then Jason Driscoll again from 6 yards out, completing a 79-yard drive. C.J. Peck, the extra point, 14-0. After that, Dean, it was some stalled offense, and then the penalties really set things crazy.
Well, the early going to the first quarter, it looked like Winnacunnet was going to run away with this ball game, and then, as you say, things just bogged down, and it became just a mistake-riddled football game. Things pretty well evened out in the second half. The whole story it can be boiled down to two major points. The first quarter offensive action by the Winnacunnet Warriors, very, very impressive in the first quarter, and then the rest of the ball game was nothing but mistakes and penalties and sputter offense, and not a good omen for either team.
There were some good defensive plays on the part of the Winnacunnet Warriors, stopping a couple of drives. Timberlane down first and goal there, and they ended up on the 21-yard line. So the defensive team turned in a good battle for Winnacunnet. The offense showed some signs of coming around.
Yes, they did. They put some points on the board, and that was an important thing for them to be able to do in this ball game. And they showed to themselves and to everybody else that may have been doubters that this wishbone offense can work, will work, and it may just do the job for the Warriors.
So now they get ready for the Laconia Sachems on Saturday, October the 1st. We will be here to be bringing you that game. Hope you'll be here. If you can't make it to the game,